Okay, folks, here we have our wall shelf completed. What I am doing now is building a customer draft. A customer draft is the contract with the manufacturer and the client. The client is going to look at this draft, the measurements, and he's going to approve it or he's going to make changes to it. And so the first thing I do is create a draft. This is my blank draft I just created, and the first thing I'm gonna do is save it. Save as, and I'm gonna call it the item number. This item is item 169 on the architectural plan view. 169, so that's what I'm gonna call this customer draft. That house is gonna bring me to where I saved it. There I have my wall shelf, the assembly, and the PSM is the different parts, the top and the two brackets, the left and the right bracket. So I drag it into my draft and I put the scale. By default, when I drag it in, is showing the isometric view. The isometric view always shows in a 1/16th of the original size. So there I added that scale. Alright, that's my isometric view. Next, I am doing the plan view and the elevation. So from there, I choose the item I wanna bring in. The view wizard is gonna let me choose different views of it. I wanna choose the top view for the plan view, and I just move the mouse down and automatically shows me the elevation. If I move it to the side, it shows me the side. If I move it to the diagonal angle, it gives me an isometric view. The scale for the plan view and the elevation is 1/8 of the original size. So that's the scale I put there. Next, I am doing a section view of the shelf. To do that, the first thing I'm doing is cutting plane. There it is. It's asking me to choose the drawing I want to make a cutting plane on. That is my drawing. Now I'm gonna draw the cutting plane, and I want to put dimensions on it. So when I move this elevation view, the cutting plane moves with it. I like to go 3/8 of an inch above the top and below the bottom, so to make sure that I cover the whole item. Close cutting plane. The cutting plane is ready. Here I am choosing the direction. I want it to face to the left, and now I'm doing a section view based on that cutting plane. Section view. There it tells me what to do. Choose a cutting plane. That's my cutting plane A, and boom, there's my section view. Next up, I want to show a detail of my edge, because the customer told me I want this edge with this measurement, so I want to make sure I'm showing exactly what that looks like and put measurements on it so that my client can verify it quickly. He can look at it and verify all the dimensions are consistent with the dimensions he gave me. And this is gonna be detail A because it's the first one and the only detail I'm gonna show in this particular draft. That circle is called detail envelope. So I'm adding dimensions to this detail envelope, and so that I have it locked to the wall shelf section view. And these measurements can be anything that makes sense to you. So close detail envelope, close. Alright, I'm gonna move that letter so it's close to it. Alright, and now the detail I have to update it because it's out of date. Once I change the envelope, I have to update the detail view. Perfect. Now I'm changing the scale. The scale can be anything that makes sense really. I'm gonna try different scales. That's too much. So I'm gonna put 0.3 is roughly a third of the actual size. Okay, those are all the views that I want to show for this draft. Now I'm gonna go to my drafting library. I have a lot of pre-made callouts that I want to drag into my draft. That's the elevation. Well, that goes actually in the bottom. Isometric view, I'm gonna drag it in and to label that isometric. Then I have a plane view. There we go. Okay, that's it. That is it. I'm gonna save my work since I have made some progress. Don't forget to save it every now and then. You will be surprised how many times you run out of power after you do a bunch of work. So I'm gonna add dimensions on it now. We have 27 inches overall length and 14 inches wide. I'm gonna put dimensions on that bracket. The holes, how this dimension is called to be 2 inches from the front edge to the bracket. Here I hit diagonal to show me the horizontal dimension. 12-inch bracket. Here I have 3 inches to the side of the wall shelf, 3 inches. You want to be able to access that wall shelf edge to clean it on the inside. The distance between the bracket and the edge of the wall shelf should be by NSF more than 3/4 of an inch. In this case we're doing 3 inches just because it's a nice distance. What is important is to maintain these 3 inches across the entire project, assuming there are multiple wall shelves, which is in most cases that's the scenario, and to maintain consistency. This is actually the contract between the manufacturer and the architect. Once we finish this, the manufacturer says, hey, this is what I'm gonna build. What do you think? And the architect is gonna look at it and say, oh, that's great. Or he might say, oh, can you change this or can you change that? Usually, and this is such a easy item, they rarely make any changes on a wall shelf. It's one of those items that doesn't require any revisions for the most part. They may come and say, oh, can you put a flat edge, vertical edge on the sides or something like that, or make a clearance in the back. They might want something, but usually a wall shelf is just straightforward. But my point being is this is the actual contract. This is a way to communicate the intended item to be built, so there's no misunderstandings. Those are all the measurements I want to put. Now what I'm doing is change the scale on every caption. I want every caption to have the same size, so it looks consistent. Perfect. And that's all the information. Oh, I'm gonna put shade. I'm putting some shade on the isometric view. That way I can look. I'm updating it now. Every time you make a change, you have to update it so the change takes effect. Next, we're adding construction notes to this draft. The construction notes basically tell the customer what material I'm using. In this case, I choose the construction note for wall shelf, and it specifies the top of the shelf to be 16 gauge 304 stainless steel number 4 finish, and the brackets to be 14 gauge type 304 stainless steel number 4 finish. As that is important information for the customer too. They want to know what kind of stainless steel we're using, and how thick the material is. That's basically what it's saying. And now I am adding information about this draft. Who is it for? What item is this? What item number? Um, what project? And so the first thing, the title, I'm gonna write wall shelf, because that's what the item is. It's a wall shelf. For the author of this work, I'm gonna write myself. I'm Freddy Piri, so I put FPZ, and then the project manager, I made that up, and the customer, I am saying that this is for architectural industries. Again, that's not a real company. I'm just making it up. Now I'm going to projects tab, and for the document number we write the actual item number, and for the project name we just add the project name. In this case I'm gonna make this up as Miami Garden Small. Update the whole thing, and there is all the information: title wall shelf, project Miami Garden Small, document number 169, who made it, and that should be about it. This is the first draft. I'm gonna put a number 1 there for now. Save it, save all my work, and that completes our customer draft. Now this is ready to submit it to the client to be reviewed. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, let me know, please. Goodbye.